Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech, the
Number one tech morning show in the world, baby. Good morning.
good morning, good morning. We have a lot to talk about today. There's different topics that we'll be covering. As you probably saw, there's going to be some tea spilled, not the traditional sense, but also a few other things that we're going to chat into. But first things first, we always go into it. How was your weekend, man?
Yeah, the weekend was pretty solid. I am sleepy, but nonetheless, it was good. We drove down to San Antonio from DFW. It's like, I don't know, 3.5, 4 hours, something like that.
Mm.
And yeah, just went down for SeaWorld. Um, had a good time celebrating daughter's birthday and all of that good stuff. But yeah, man. Needless to say, it was a longer weekend, a little tired, but the show must go on. That's for sure. How was yours though?
Yeah, I totally agree. Long weekend. This weekend was all about me kind of catching up on some uh, I guess chores, running errands, trying to get some stuff done, and purchasing some stuff that I needed. So, uh, as you might have tell y'all, I did change my setup here. So I got a new desk, and I was like, yeah, I gotta get this treadmill to go with it. So I got that as well, and a few other stuff that I just need to get for the house, and just try to get us going for this week. But besides that, it was pretty much a normal weekend. Nothing out of the abnormal. Was able to give my wife a day off. Well, a couple hours at least to go get her nails done with a friend and relax and chill. So I was looking forward to that. So overall, though, it was a good one. There are no complaints on my end, and I'm just glad to be here with y'all this morning. Oh man, but besides the whole being tired thing, it's funny because I thought I went early enough to sleep, but I'm feeling it too. If you guys are tired in the
Sometimes it's like
comments, something like that. Oh, let me tell you something. For y'all, this is like a PSA. Get your sunlight while you have it, right? So I did some blood work for my doctors probably 2 weeks ago. Oh, before I even go in there, we got OTTO in the building. Peace and blessings. So glad to see you rocking with us
what's
this
good?
morning.
What's good?
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. But yeah, man, I literally what I did was I got my blood work back from my doctor, and I was like, man, I'm feeling tired. I hope I'm not pre-diabetic. Because I was feeling tired for like a long period of time and things of that nature, and even though diabetes isn't necessarily running in my family, there's other things that I was like, oh man, maybe this is something else. Believe it or not, after the work was done, all the stuff that I was concerned about, maybe some of the stuff that does run in my family, kind of showed itself. A little things. But the thing I was surprised about the most, if I'm continuing to be honest here, was she's like, "Aren't you tired all the time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because I got 100 kids. We have seven, but that's a lot, right?" So I just assumed that was
Yeah.
the reason why I was tired. That's what I told her. And she's like, no, your vitamin D is extremely low. So
Mm,
to give you perspective, vitamin D, I think on average should be around 30. I was at 5, according
dang.
to the measurement. So yeah, she said the same thing. So I was like, oh wow, I didn't know. So I got some supplements, but I also like, you know what? I need to get out in the sun. So this is your PSA announcement, especially for our darker hue, to get out there and soak up that vitamin D because you might be feeling tired and sluggish or whatever, and you might be low in vitamin D and don't even know it. So
Another PSA. Let me just add that on. Add this on, and wear your sunscreen. If you are
where is
also if you are also a darker hue, you might not believe that you need to wear sunscreen, but you
mm-hmm.
do. You definitely do.
And put it in the chat, y'all. Have you ever heard this story before? Because my same doctor, so funny enough you said that, was talking and said, "Hey, listen, I went to a trip to Mexico, and guess what? I got sunburn on my lips." So she was like, she had to get a lip balm because their sun is apparently a lot stronger. And she had to get like a lip balm for her lips that was like
Mm.
sunscreen. So listen, y'all, what it was just said is true. Get your protection. Get your protection in these last days. I'm gonna go to the comment section and pass it back to you, Trey, because OTTO says most people in the world at this point have vitamin D deficiency. Yeah, because everybody's working indoors. It's definitely a thing. Um, I just didn't realize it contributed to me being tired, or just being lethargic or whatever. So it's like,
Get energized from that sun, man.
yeah, that's right. That's right. And then also, OTTO says, being nephrology, we see it all the time. That's a good point. We see it all the time. So listen, y'all, this is a PSA announcement. Sunscreen, and then go do your walk, do whatever. I think I'm going to try to do a walk probably midday or right before midday, just to get that vitamin D in. But yeah, it's a good thing to do for sure, for sure. Oh man, but it's besides that, it's been good. It's good, y'all. We're gonna have a good show today. I definitely feel it in the air. I feel it in the air, right? We're gonna talk about a couple of things here. And with that, one of the things is something I actually saw nonchalantly passing by on LinkedIn streets here was this story about this company, and what happened from a company that was seen to be an amazing story to now becoming a cautionary tale. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Trey to share more.
Yeah. So today, I'm not sure if we are on the same one, bro. But
Let me
I'm
double check,
I'm
bro.
here to talk about Netflix.
Oh no, I got you. I got you, brother. I got you. I got you.
Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. All right, y'all. I'm back now. I'm back now. Windsurf, Windsurf, from the startup dreams to AI industry saga. All right, y'all. So how can I do this? Windsurf's rise. All right. So the chaos that followed. Here we got. Right now, we have a startup that really has turned into a billion-dollar powerhouse in AI, and AI powered software development. But right now, basically, after this crazy growth that it's had, it made some pivots, some high bidding wars, right? Like, oh yeah, we need this, we need to run it up, let's get it. Uh, Now it's having some backlash. So now employees, they got employee unrest, and then some major ethical questions about how these tech giants are treating basically startup talent is really coming to the surface. And we're gonna do this with Windsurf. So Windsurf, I've been in the same boat, bro. I've been seeing Windsurf for a while, and I even tried it out a little bit, and I had no clue. But anyways, let's go back to how it started and then go through. Windsurf actually started in 2021, and it was under a different name. It was uh, Exafunction. I think that's how you even say it. I don't even know. But it was founded by an MIT grad and a childhood friend of Varan Mohan and Douglas Chin. And the company's mission was to make deep learning cheaper and more efficient by optimizing the GPU usage. So it actually worked. Exafunction, it was able to help the customers, like even autonomous vehicle companies, like they are getting 5 to 10 times more improvement in their hardware performance by using Windsurf. And that early traction led to literally a $3 million seed round, and that was followed by a $25 million Series A that was led by Green Oaks and backed by Founders Fund. So they were getting to the bag. All right, they were getting money. But then as AI, like as the workload grew and it got more complex, the founders of the company, they actually saw a bigger problem, which was the infrastructure alone wasn't going to be enough. Like that, it just wasn't going to work. And Mohan, how he put it, he said infrastructure was becoming a commodity. Everyone was running the same models. So here's when they pivot. All right, this is where the Codium pivot in 2022. They saw a generative AI wave coming, like they saw it ahead of time, and they made a decision to pivot the company in 48 hours. So in 48 hours, they changed everything. They abandoned the infrastructure, that business that they started, to build AI coding assistant, and it was called Codium. And even myself, like to me, that was a great thing, because sometimes people are so stuck in the one thing that they're doing, and they don't realize, like, hey, maybe sometimes you need to take a step back and see if you need to pivot just a little bit. You might be there, but not all the way there. And I've seen this multiple times now where that pivot changed everything. So they pivoted in 2022, and then Codium, it became the free alternative to GitHub's Copilot, which gave AI-powered code completion, generation, and debugging across 70 plus languages. So they was getting to it. All right. And it paid off. They grew by 10,000 to cover basically over 800,000 active customers. They reached $100 million in annual reoccurring revenue. That's ARR. Like, it's hitting the account every year. It's at 100 million minimum. They launched major clients like Dell, JP Morgan, Zillow. All of them was in there. And then August 2024, Codium raised $150 million at a 1.25 billion valuation. So just that one move, y'all, it went from that. Remember that first Series A, $25 million funding round in Series A. Series B hit that 150. So they doing numbers. But guess what? They had another pivot though. And this is when they launched Windsurf in late 2024. It was a standalone business and basically product designed from the ground up with AI as the core. And Windsurf, it was a few features that changed the game. All right, Cascade. It was an AI assistant, understands context and helps problem solving. Super complete. That was predictive code completion based on development intent. And then AI flows. So it was a live collaboration between developers and AI agents. So yeah, y'all, again, this pivot gave them a big old boost. All right. It caught the attention of OpenAI, and that helped the company get acquired for $3 billion. Would it be? And that was potentially the biggest acquisition ever, or its biggest acquisition ever at the time, OpenAI. And yeah, again, it was huge. Here's what went wrong though. Microsoft had a conflict of interest. OpenAI's major backer, Microsoft, would have gained access to Windsurf's IP, which threatened its own GitHub Copilot business. And then there was a disagreement over control. So OpenAI, they wanted to absorb the Windsurf's team into the core, and Windsurf's leadership wanted to keep that creative autonomy. And then number three, the deal expired. So the exclusivity window closed before both sides could get aligned on what they wanted. So yeah, all of that's going on. And days after that OpenAI deal fell through, Google DeepMind swooped in with a $2.4 billion licensing deal. Y'all know we done talked about licensing deals on here before. That's like one of the best things you could do. $2.4 billion. And yeah, it was no acquisition. Google just paid for non-exclusive rights to use Windsurf's tech. And then they were able to get some hires in, great hires. And then they avoided the scrutiny. So this reverse acqui-hire allowed Google to avoid antitrust issues while still acquiring the top talent. So yeah, y'all, here's what's crazy though. Cognition AI, basically the creator of Devin Coding Agent. Y'all know we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Over one like real intense weekend, Cognition acquired the rest of Windsurf's assets, the tech, the IP, and the team, and it's full acquisition. So unlike Google, where it was just a licensing deal, Cognition bought the whole thing, and it was an employee first deal. So all the employees were included, which with accelerated vesting and waived cliffs, and it gave everyone participated financially. So yeah, it was crazy. So here's the crazy part: Windsurf's enterprise grade IDE, it complemented Cognition's product roadmap. So it just made sense for him. And yeah, it was seen as a redemptive turn and a difficult like turn of events. So what did we learn from this, y'all? Uh, AI talent wars are ruthless. Like they don't care. They want what they want, and they gonna get it. This reverse acquihire, that's actually like rising right now. A lot of people are getting this done. So Google's model, it might become the norm where, hey, just give us the licensing part. We don't care about none of the rest. We'll get it done. And then also startup employees are vulnerable, which, I definitely understood that and knew that. Like equity does not always equal a payout, especially when leadership leaves midstream. So that's just one of the prices you pay when you work at a startup. Like stuff happens. You just gotta know that and be willing to take it. It is what it is. And then founders must balance ambition and accountability. So Windsurf reignited the debate about what startup founders owe their teams at the end of the day. So yeah, y'all. Despite all the chaos that Core Mission lives on, they're looking to transform software and how it's built using AI. But it's not just a startup story. It's a cautionary tale about power, loyalty, and then just high stakes when it comes to innovation in this AI era that we live in. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. Before I say anything, listen, y'all. If y'all know anything about the Windsurf story, feel free to let us know in the chat. In fact, I'm going to drop the link down because this was when I found out about it, it kind of tickled my ears. It wasn't like something that I knew much about, but it came up in conversation and some employees that I know of because
Well, that's crazy, bro.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
what Tech Coach Ralph said in there.
yeah. I'm about to go into the comment section right now. Looking at from where we started talking about it. Seco Ralph said I have not heard the name, but not sure what they do. He's heard the name, but not sure what they do. And he said, Cognition acquired Windsurf. I heard of that. AI is a new drug game. It's a new drug game. Reese. Oh, good morning, Reese. She said, good morning to all. So glad to see you in there.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, this is what Tech Coach Ralph, I think that you were referring to. He says, imagine BMF. If you're not familiar with BMF, look them up, but replace the drugs with AI software. Yeah, it's ruthless in these streets, man. Because if you think about it, I work at a startup. There's some people that may be watching this that work at a startup or a scale up. Startups, scale ups, they're kind of in that same kind of space where they're like before the acquisition, right? And a lot of people come to these companies. Go ahead. You say something? Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say not like a WNBA startup, the 25-year startup. Not that one. Not that type of startup.
No,
Not that
no,
one.
but like ones that may have started before, but then they've been around for a little bit of time, but then they're more or less with leadership redirected, and then there's more people that come in, and then there's people that leave, and then now they're like getting momentum and they're booming, they're going. He said wrong. Shake my head. I guess he's talking about the story. I'm not too sure.
That's what they're saying. They're saying it's they saying it's still a startup.
Yeah, yeah. It should be a scale up at that point. But yeah, either way, people get into that because they want to get the big payout. They get into those companies that are smaller. They lend their talent there because they're invested in the company in the ways that they probably wouldn't be invested into at a larger company. Don't get me wrong. There, you can still get some sort of sort of return on your investment working at other larger companies, but sometimes the really big payouts come from working at small ones, especially if you get there early. So the fact that Google initially, allegedly, did this sort of like wraparound where they got the licensing and they were able to kind of like get what they kind of wanted from it and leave the employees kind of hanging dry. That's the part that's like, dang, that's ruthless. Because like if you think about it, you're not just there because you love the company. You're there because you want to work, make some money, and get that big payout eventually, if you last that long. And so the fact that it happened that way, where 250 employees were were left behind, it kind of like brings up the sense like, oh man, like you said, AI is a new drug. If you work for an AI company that's really making waves, no pun intended, in this in the world in the industry, what's going to protect you from this happening? So that's the perspective I kind of took from this. Is like, man, those employees were like what's going to happen to us, you know? So, and I go back to what you said. Employees said they received as little as 1% of their expected equity value.
Bro,
When this
1%,
first
less
happened.
than.
Yeah, little.
I would have been
little.
in tears too. I would have been in tears too, man. I
Yeah.
would have been crying. You know?
It's like investing in a stock and then it just like all crumbles. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah,
That was
because
a lot
you're
of
thinking
money.
like, this is it. This
Yeah.
is it. This is my Microsoft moment. Like, I'm gonna be one of them 12 people. Have y'all ever seen that photo where it's like Bill Gates and like all the other like founding people, and they're
Oh,
all just on this photo? They look wild, but literally all of them are billionaires now. But you know, it just you look at that photo and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. And you finally get in the spot and you're like, oh, this is it.
yeah.
And then they hit you with the, yeah, so this is probably less than a severance package that you would have got, you know, at a at a regular company. Probably less than that, but
Yeah.
you know, we appreciate you.
Yeah. And let's back up a little bit as well. Because this is definitely uh this is definitely a really big thing. So like the before the birth of Windsurf, right? Which Windsurf already had its success because within 4 months, over 1 million developers were actively using Windsurf. That's nuts, right?
Doing
Um,
numbers.
yeah, and but the founding people that actually did it, they were very successful with Codium, right? Like they had major clients, right? Dell, JP Morgan, and Zillow. But I want to point on this part right here. They reached $100 million in ARR by 2025. So only 3 years in, they reach 100 million ARR. That is not there's not a lot of companies that hit that mark, you know, in let alone 3 years. So that is something to just keep in mind of like how fast they grew, and
Yeah.
maybe that's a contribution to it as well, because that's even before Windsurf was born. When Windsurf came on the floor, that's in 2024. So and so this is 2025 now, and then their valuation is that much of, you know, at least that's what they were saying, $3 billion. It, like you said, Tech Coach Ralph, this AI um, let's see another word I could use. Pharmaceutical game is
Yeah.
serious. Um, it's very serious. So yeah, no, I thought that was just an interesting point, y'all.
Well, the only thing I wanted to know is it did say that it was an entirely new standalone IDE. So I was like, does that mean it was just a branch off of the main off of Codium, or did it
Oh,
change again? Because that's a whole nother interesting idea. It's like you gotta make sure you're in the right spot on the right team, right? Like
that's right.
you can be in the right company, but are you in the right spot? You know what I'm saying? Of the right team. I've seen that happen before for sure. You know, I know I've been a part of where like I was in the right part of the company that was innovation. It was bringing in a lot of ducats for the company,
Yeah,
and when it all came down, everybody else got cut except for my small little bitty team because of what we were doing, the money we was making, and and just the direction. It was in the direction that the company wanted to go in. So yeah, you gotta make sure you're in the right spot.
yeah, and I would say AE, SDR, SEs, customer success, for that retention there. Yeah, everybody included, like Operation Take Over said over here. Everybody including that deal. There's a lot to unpack with this. I definitely want to take some time, but if you guys get a chance to look into this story, because it is really interesting, and then you're gonna start looking at it and be like, "Dang, that's grimy." So like when you start looking into the story a little bit more,
Cold as
you're
ice.
like, "Oh, this is rough, y'all." So, but let us know what you find out the more you look into the story. Let us come back to us if you have similar stories like this, because like I was watching the Wolf of Wall Street, and it was a reminder that white collar crime plays dirty too.
Hey,
Not saying
that's
it's
why
a
they be going to
crime, but
jail.
you know what I mean. Like
That's why they
it's
be going to jail.
I tell you, it's tough. It's tough in these places. So y'all, let us know more about what you feel in the comment section. We definitely want to hear from you. And if it's your first time tuning in, go ahead, and if you see the ticker at the bottom, go ahead and you can call into the show. But you also like, comment, and definitely subscribe. Help us to get to that 900 mark. We're getting closer, but we're not there yet, and we want to definitely surpass that. And we need your help to do so.
And
So go ahead.
they be like, "What you in the feds for, man?" Oh, you know, I stole 600
Embezzlement.
million. I stole 600 million. I got a year and a half, and I had to pay $50 million back. Nobody ever asked about the rest of the 550 million that they get out a year and a half later, up big
Uh-huh.
time.
They're like, oh, I'll do a little vacation for just to keep the change. Restitution, sure. How much? Okay, fine. You Operation Take Over says you're either gonna get down or you're gonna lay down. Oh man, either gonna get down or you're gonna lay down. Well, listen, I want you guys to get down with the Tech Wire. Tech Wire is a segment powered by Black Tech Global, your premier directory for upcoming tech events. So you can go ahead and visit blacktechglobal.com for more to get down with the get down. All right, I'm going to speed through this because there's just a few events that we could cover today that will hit the docket. But we have 2025 USBC National Conference that's happening this July. Well, it really happened. We got the wrong one here. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Let me look at this. There we go. So I got the we got coming up. There we go. The U.S. Black National Conference in Washington D.C. 575 for that. That's July 30th to August 1st. So if you want to check out that, that's Wednesday to the 1st, which is a Friday, in the DC area, Chocolate City. So check that out for yourself if that's something that you're interested in. August 5th to the 8th is National Sales Network Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. That is $799 for that one. Check that out if you are in the sales game and if you can make it. That might be one that you want to definitely be a part of because you're networking there as well as developing your skill set. So who knows what you might meet in the room. So definitely check that out. August 7th to the 8th, we have Baddies in Tech. BaddieCon is coming back to NYC, New York. $150 for that one if you want to get involved from August 7th to the 9th. Again, check it out on blacktechglobal.com for that one. And then rounding it up, we got a couple more here. We got the Black is Tech Week in Houston, Texas. It's $0 for that one, but it's a longer event from August 11th to the 16th. So if you're in Houston, if you're in H Town, go check it out. That is a place for you if you want to learn more about that. We have Black Tech Day, August 15th to the 16th. That's happening in London, England. Cost is TBA, so to be determined or TBD. But if you are able to make it, if you're in London at that time, check out Black Tech Day, which happens to be 2 days, August 15th to the 16th. And last but not least, we have Champagne and Melanin, which is as a August 27th event back in H Town, Houston, Texas. That is to prepare to pivot mixer. So if you're in a place that you want to prepare to pivot and move, go ahead and check that out. It's in Houston, Texas. Starting price is about $45. But don't take my word for it. Go to blacktechglobal.com. Again, blacktechglobal.com, your premier source for tech events and news. That way you can stay connected with everything that is going on. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go, and we're not going to delay it. We're gonna go to the topic at hand, and we're gonna talk about the T. We're gonna talk about that T, y'all. The T, the viral online dating app that promised safety. Then, unfortunately, 72,000 photos were leaked. Who, what, when, where, and why, and how did it happen? I'm gonna pass it back to Trey to share more.
Yeah, man. Crazy. Sometimes if you can't make some of this stuff up, bro. Like this app came and it was bubbling, it was doing numbers, and then it just like exploded, right? It ended up being like the #1 app on the App Store, like over everything. And right after that news came out, this news came out. All right. So it was crazy. So anyway, this was a viral women only like dating app for the safety side of dating. That's what it was supposed to be. And basically, 72,000 photos were leaked. And you're probably wondering, okay, if it's women only, how in the world or what in the world was leaked? This is what we're going to talk about today, because y'all know it's a tech company, but then also it's cybersecurity issue. This is what's going on. So this is why we're talking about it. But how it all started. So basically this month, y'all, July 2025, T was the number one free app on the US App Store. It, like I said, it even went over ChatGPT 24 hours later, right? Sometimes this is why you guys stay under the radar, but that's a whole nother story. 24 hours later, after it hit number one, hackers scraped and leaked 72,000 private user photos, including 13,000 selfies and ID verifications. And this basically just made that side of privacy and that crisis come up, and it shook up the public trust real quick, because you don't really think about these things when you're just doing it, right? Like, and I can tell because I was able to see a few of the photos, and I was like, man, there's no way this lady would be caught dead taking a selfie like this. Like, she's in the bed halfway, just, you know, she was just trying to get on the app. Like, help me hurry up and take this verification photo so I can get in this app.
Man.
But she didn't know it was going to be leaked, because you're not really thinking about it. You're thinking protection is good. Well, anyways, it wasn't. So this is the story about the T app. And by the way, here's how it started. Okay, Sean Cook, he actually founded the T app in 2022, and he was a former product lead at Salesforce and Shutterfly. So he'd been in tech, he'd been getting to it, and the inspiration came because his mom got catfished. All right, so his mom got catfished by men with criminal records, and that kind of, you know, you want your mom to be safe. You don't want anything happen to her, and basically that really is what sparked where, hey, let's verify who we're dating online. Let's see. So he built this women-only AI-powered platform that could help users vet potential dates before meeting them. And yeah, that was his vision, right? Is to have like a Yelp version where it's like background checks and you know, part of the Whisper network, all that kind of stuff. That is what he was trying to create. So here are the features that had to happen in order to get access to this women only app. You had to the women had to verify themselves through a selfie and a photo ID, and then they could upload a man's name, photo, or age at the Ask for T spot, right? And so this is where the dating stories, red flag or green flag warnings that you get from the other women who knew that individual in your area. All right. And then from there, the T's AI is scanned for the known phone number, the online aliases, and then public records. Right. And then the users could, like I said, red flag or green flag the behavior, and then let the person know of you know, some interest and stuff. And then a national group chat called the Tea Party let women share tips anonymously. So that's what happened. It initially launched in 2023. It was self-funded, mostly underground. In 2024, it got that seed round, and then it grew steadily until everything changed this past summer, right here in 2025. And so just to give you like, yo, how crazy it grew, July 17th through the 23rd, downloads went up 525% in 1 week. July 24th, it became the number one app, passed everything. And then July 25th, the company claimed 4 million users on the platform in an Instagram post. And then the day later, some stuff happened. But I did want to point out though, y'all, when it comes to this app, like, if you on this app, these women, a lot of them, I'm not gonna say all of them, some of them they genuinely wanted to know. But if you on this app, you know that dude's no good, man. I'm sorry, I had to say it. he out of there.
Yeah,
You know
instinct.
it. You know it. I'm sure the women who know they dude or whatever, they weren't on this app. But if you had to get on here and put this dude in there, you know he was no good. I'm saying it. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Anyway, let me keep going. Y'all, so obviously this app, it went viral on TikTok when a lady posted a video exposing walking red flags. Like, that's cold as ice, though. I ain't gonna count. That's wild. And she was sharing their experiences using the T app to dodge these sketchy dates. And yeah, some of these clips, they went like millions of views, millions, which obviously they want to get on. But anyway, I seen some videos. The women was like, "Yo, uh, I'm trying to let y'all know this dude is bad," and then they tell me you in their DMs. So yeah, so they was backdooring like, "Yeah, I want to see what this bad dude is about too." Anyway, y'all, here's where some stuff happened. Some people were saying, they were like, "Yo, the CEO leaked this data." I'm not, I don't know. I'm just saying what they said. I'm just saying what they said. But yeah, the breach, it was heard around the internet, y'all, at basically 6:45 a.m. On July 25th, one day after it hit the top app. The internal systems detected suspicious activity, and then, within hours, yeah, a website called 4chan users saw an open, unauthenticated Firebase storage bucket that you could click, and that folder had all the sensitive info. What was in there? 13,000 verification photos of these women, IDs, driver's license, selfies, to use for gender confirmation, because you had to be a woman. Remember, you couldn't just identify as a woman. You had to be a woman. 59,000 in-app images, profile photos, shared screenshots, comment threads, and DMs. Like, they released it all. And then only accounts created before February 2024 were affected. And this is what the T app said. So this might have been before they had all the verification and stuff that they had, because apparently, like, it's so big, they had a waiting list to get in. So you had people just still waiting to even get in, and that's with the 2 million that they had got in just recently, right? They still were waiting. So anyways, y'all, here's what happened afterwards. The photos, they were circulating on 4chan for several hours before the moderators were able to get them taken down. And y'all know, once something is on the internet, it's there. Like, good luck. And the users they were mad. A lot of them, they trusted the T with their images, and they wouldn't even share. Like I told y'all, these are images that they wouldn't share with their closest friends. Like, probably not even themselves. If they had to relook at it, they're like, man, nah. But it is what it is. They're just trying to get in the app. Class action lawsuits reported. They're looking to see what they can do to get some money, and we'll see. Reddit threads, they are filled with women demanding data export tools, deletion confirmations, and public accountability. And yeah, so right now, y'all, the platform is asking women that it was asking women to trust, like, it with their most personal data, like. And this was all supposed to be in the name of safety, right? Like, hey, we want to make sure that you're a woman. We want to make sure all this stuff is happening. So go ahead and verify this information. Give me your ID. And then that safety was wiped out from under them because it got exposed. It was not safe at all. So we'll see what happens in the end. The company said it's going to patch the issues, and they hired a cybersecurity expert, and then is committed to rebuilding trust. And it's wild because, like, I can understand early on, but we saw this with the big casino hacks as well. Like, these companies, they have all the time in the world to get the top of the notch, the top of the, top of the top cybersecurity, but they want to wait until something happens to be able to do it. And it just sucks because like, even if you start off as a startup, you making money now. Now you got to invest in the stuff that's going to keep you there. And most of them don't. They get hit up with, hey, I got this cybersecurity business. Hey, we can help you do this. Nah, we're all right now, bucko. And then they get hit with this, and now you want to come back with well, we're gonna we've hired the top of the line cybersecurity expert. Man, you should have been did that. Should have been had it. Anyway, that's where they're at, y'all. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Is it gonna? I was gonna vibe code a men's version just to see what was gonna happen. And then literally the same day, that's when I saw the news. I'm like, because I like I told y'all, I was riding down to San Antonio, and I was like, I wonder if I could vibe code a men's version. Let me get on here. This is literally what happened, y'all. Let me get online and see what people are saying that the men's version, what the name would be if they wanted to download it, what they would name the men's version. Somebody was saying the coffee app. There was some people saying the beer app and all this stuff. And then that's when I saw the news. I'm like, it's not gonna make no sense. It's bad publicity around it. So, anyways, I didn't do it. But yeah, y'all, it's crazy. It's crazy. What y'all think about this?
Man, we're going into the chat right now. A lot of things to share. Let me go to the chat first before I say anything, because a lot of comments about this and a lot of things we definitely want to talk about. So, first of all, Keiko Drought said, "Is that catfishing?" Talking about if your mother dated men that had a criminal record. I was saying it was holding the cards close to the chest. But I'm gonna go.
Yeah, it is. Hey, I'm divulging information that you asked about. So maybe you should ask about that.
Yeah. Do you have a criminal record? I plead the fifth. Then he said,
hey, and by the way, y'all know it's some women out there. They ain't divulging the kid situation until you ask. You don't find out they got a kid till you about to get on one knee. You're like, wait a minute, you got 2 kids, huh? We done went on 17 dates, and you just not finding back. So, I'm just saying it's on both sides. It's on both sides. That's all I'm saying.
You met my mother. You met my family. And he didn't say anything. Oh man, Take a Route said, "How to be a man to create the app." LOL. Or shake my head, I should say. Yeah, he said, "Y'all remember the inmate with the eyes? The women were going crazy over."
Oh, listen. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I remember that.
Oh man! And Operation Tech Thing over says, "What's up, TCR? Sitting here listening to somebody spilling tea." Hey, listen, that's what we're here for. He found himself on the app and crashed out. Talking about the astronomer CEO, joking, not trying to get sued for defamation.
No, he did. Didn't that dude get out of jail? And because of all that publicity, he was like in some movies and stuff. Like, I think he ended up getting into movies and all that.
Oh my god!
Just from that. Anyway,
well, I will find out about that later. He says, "I wonder how they got taken down from 4chan. Heard it's like the Wild Wild West. I don't know nothing about.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
It's like Reddit, right, or something like that. It's like Reddit, or okay. I technically don't know, but I feel like it's like Reddit, because those were the 2 places that it was like that they were added. So it gotta be like the Wild Wild West, because you can do it. Yeah, that's cold. That's cold.
And I said it too. Like, I'm gonna actually let the last comment here. He said, "Trey, your version would be total opposite of what happened with the ladies app."
Of course,
it's total opposite. From what I heard, it was like Reddit but wilder, which is crazy.
Oh dang!
Yeah, that says a lot. But I was just gonna share a couple things here. For one, I think it was a noble cause, the creation of the app. If you think about it, your mother, she wants to make sure she knows who she's talking to. They want to avoid the cheaters. They want to avoid the people that are not good news. So it makes sense, that they have an app like this. But I was thinking at the same time, like this is like the prime, especially when it came as number one. This is like the prime location for those creeper hacks. They're like, listen, I got everything I want in one place. Let's go. They licking their chops to try to get here to this. He said, "I'm not buying it, Joseph. You're not buying it. That which part? You gotta explain." But Teco Drop says, "I'm not buying it." He was trying to get access to 13,000 women. I mean, listen, I don't know the man's intentions or hearts, but I mean, hey, you leave with your mother was going through unfortunate situations. Let me actually, to his credit though, there and women in the chat, let us know if you had a situation like this. But I saw on TikTok this young woman who basically had a bad relationship. She broke up with her boyfriend, whatever, and she wanted a little rebound. Let's just be honest. And so she decided to go on everybody's favorite app, Tinder. And she, met this guy, thought he was great. Like you said, Trey didn't do her proper vetting, uh, and decided to have him come over. And he just steps. I guess they make it to the bedroom of whatever reason, and he has like almost like a schizophrenic episode, and he just starts screaming and tearing up the place. She runs to a neighbor. He says he said that he had a gun. Um, and the cops come over, pull him over, and lo and behold, there was a gun in there. So, like, I mean, the more you can vet, the better. And then you can use some more, like, you can be patient too, and not necessarily jump into situation, just because your loins are loining. But listen, if you are not patient, an app like this could be helpful. Plus, gossip
Supposed
stuff.
to be.
You know,
Supposed to be.
supposed to be, supposed to be. Gossip sells, right? So obviously, something like this, when they want to find out more about somebody in the local area, it definitely could. But like, let's think about it. All the bad exes, they're not gonna have anything good to say unless it's
that's the unfortunate thing, right? Like,
yeah.
if you're on there and you see like, oh no, he did me dirty, I'm about to, like, you're not saying any of the good stuff, like, at all. Like, you're literally, how can I destroy this man? So you don't know what's like truly like, hey, this is what's real. I'm sure there are women on there that like, no, I just want to let, this is, hey, he was good, but like he really was mean at times, or like, I don't know. But all I'm saying is there are women on there that were true and they really were just trying to help out. But a woman scorned it was on there and she was going in. And who knows? Is that defamation of character if you go outside the lines of what they were saying? Like, you don't cut to the white meat. Like, like you're not even trying to be real. You went back to the old you.
Oh
But
man.
I don't know. That's where you kind of like, because at that point you don't know, like, is it real, like really real, or is it just your opinion? um you know I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, that's you tell the truth. You tell the truth, y'all. Listen, I dropped the calling link. This if we stay on this episode for the rest of the show or this segment, that's totally fine. There's a lot to be said about this. So if you want to call in and share your thoughts and opinions, the link has been dropped. So check that out there. Tech Coach Ralph says if you watch the Pop the Balloon, you could only imagine the feedback they'll leave. Some men just walked in the room and pop 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 pop. What did I
Listen,
do?
man,
It's the way
what
that you
did I
walk,
do?
the way that you talk. I'm like,
You flickered. I don't know, you flickered.
you breathe funny. You breathe funny. Uh, so listen, y'all. If y'all have anything to say about this, we'll stay on this for a little bit longer. But yeah, I think that man, I really think I want to hear from women. A lot of us men are talking right now, but women, if you have an opinion about this, let us know. Have you used the T app before February 2024 when the leaks happened? Again, the leaks happened, but it's for people that were users before February 2024 that got caught up. Tech Coach Route said, "Nah, you were breathing. Just the fact that you were breathing, you're alive. You remind me of X, Y, and Z person, and I don't like that." Pop.
Hey, so that's sometimes that's very real, bro.
Yeah. Very,
Hey, you
very
know what? You look like my ex. I
real.
hate you.
You be
Like,
related.
God, dog.
You be related. You look like you're related to him. Same bloodline. Gone. One person popped it because like he reminded me of my brother, and honestly, I don't blame her if you feel that way. But just the whole idea is that it's very fickle. That's what we're trying to say. And so that fickleness can pass on to the app and so on and so forth. You know, there's a lot of our information already online. We talked about the
Yeah.
ID situation as well. So how many people like? I wonder how that would affect users going forward, because people are like, listen, I came on this app to be safe, and now creeps have my ID where I live. They
Yeah.
know people know where I live. If you just like that, if you take a moment to stand back, your pants too tight, as OTTO says. Like that's the reason why they
For
call
real.
it. But if you take a step back, the app that's supposed to be safe, like our headline says here, now people have your address.
Yeah.
Who is going to take that information and do something with it? That's the part that I find disturbing, and something like you said, Trey. A lot of companies, unfortunately, they're more reactive than responsive. And we talked about this with a friend of ours who basically he worked for a casino company. He was telling them, hey, I'm basically he's basically like selling like software, um, that would help them with something like this. They said they didn't need it. Guess what happened? They got attacked maybe a month later, if not sooner,
Something like that.
something
Yeah.
like that. They got attacked, and because people want to be reactive and responsive, and unfortunately at that time you tarnish your name. So yeah, man. I think in this situation, they got somebody, yes, but who probably would have came to them earlier and said, "Listen, this is not even a sophisticated hack. You need to get this fixed." And they're like, we're all right. We're number one
Which
on the
that's,
App Store. We're good.
which whoever did it, they probably were waiting for this moment, right? Like,
Hmm.
oh, let me see when they're not gonna be paying attention. Oh, y'all celebrating on IG? Oh, y'all just hit what?
4 million users.
Hey, it's time, y'all. Let's get it. Power Rangers unite.
Creeps assemble. They've been playing. I can feel it coming in the air tonight in their group chat. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh
You got it.
Lord, they got
Got
it.
in.
They got it, man. That's crazy. I think, yeah, y'all. So let us know what you're thinking about it in the chat. If you have any thoughts about this, definitely want to share with you. Again, the link has been dropped. Even if we might go on to the next segment, but if you want to talk about it, we definitely can talk about it for the last few minutes that we have for the show, because we will be wrapping up soon. But I want to kind of hit this topic real quick. I'll try to be quick with it. If you guys, again, want to chime in, share what you want to share, feel free to let us know in the chat. But I got this story. This story is actually when I stumbled on to when I was on IG, and I was something that we talked about before. But I want to kind of circle the block, on this one because if you ever checked out, shout out to the Instagram account, School of Hard Knocks, where basically he interviews millionaires, billionaires, people that are successful in their industry, and he kind of weans words of wisdom. And he had a man named Daniel Daly recently, who was found his beginnings, or not beginnings, but his success in the automotive industry, and he's pivoting into nuclear power. And we would say why. And the reason why he said that is because he made a really good point. He's like, there's a lot of, let's take a step back and think about it. There's a lot of companies that have these large buildings back when people were actually coming to work more frequently. As we move more to a hybrid model, or even some people that are fully remote, some buildings in some places are just standing there, not being utilized as much as they could. And guess what's happening to them now? Now they're becoming AI data centers, as well as those places that are, as we talked about, in Wyoming, and also places in the Lou, or in Kentucky, and other places that are, they're taking the land, they're making data centers for it. Who's going to power the data? We talked about having like solar and things of that nature, but when it comes to the amount of power that's going to be needed, nuclear power has been on the rise. The company's stocks have been rising. Not to say take that information, do what you want to do with it, but this is something that I want to hit real quickly, and then we could talk about it before we wrap up the show. But basically, As AI accelerates and data centers are there as well, the power source is a huge thing that we need to look into. And so, how does nuclear fit into that? Basically, massive and continuous power. AI data centers, AI data centers operate at 24/7 and require extremely high reliability. So, this is exceeding $8 million per day. That's the pause there. $8 million per day of costs. So nuclear power provides round the clock, stable base load electricity, perfectly matching this uptime demands and far surpassing the reliability that's offered there from solar and wind. So you're getting something that's stable. Scalability and compact design as well. This type of source of power is going to help them scale. So not only is it stable, it's going to help them scale as well. That's something that I definitely want to hear from. Um, yeah, and so basically, zero carbon emissions. So nuclear energy is essentially emission free. Long term cost predictability. You can figure that out, based off of what you can see there, based off the lifespan, and potential for redeployment. So some companies consider reactivating retired nuclear plants, right, to make sure that these data centers are taken care of. It's funny how it comes full circle, right? So what we cons we see is that long lead time. So large reactors can take about 5 to 11 years to build. So if you're in a construction business, you and your children might be good for a little bit of time, right?
Not the children.
Yeah, so for maintenance of these reactors as well. High capital costs, 5 to 10 times higher than natural gas power plants break even for new builds. So that's like about approximately 30 years for you to break even. So that says a lot right there. Frequent.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. That's a long time. Frequently face cost and schedule overruns in construction. Again, construction people, children, y'all living for a long time. Complex regulations and permitting processes, prolonged deployment, and fuel supply chain challenges could happen here. Nuclear waste management, right? But here's the thing I want to focus on as well is in regards to just what types of jobs that you can basically get from this, right? There's so many different things to look into when it comes to this, and that's the biggest thing that I look at is okay, where's the gaps? We talked about these things before. We talked about now the vocational schools, things of that nature. Could be looking towards this apprenticeships and trades, right? But data centers, they're going to need certified data center technician professionals. They're going to also need state electricians. We talked about that before. HVACs, people that are in that space, people that are in OSHA and safety. So that's another big space that we don't talk about a lot. But people that regulate the safety of these different power plants, manufacturer trainers. Those are the blue collar jobs that more or less are going to be needed for this particular job demand. So if that is something that you know of, definitely check it out. Also, different states that have this availability: Northern Virginia, Oregon, or Arizona, Texas, Washington State, Georgia. These are places that consider as concentrations of where these data centers are going to be. So that's something to definitely look into as well. Yeah, Techo's rap about something. I'm gonna bring it up right now, but basically, I want to just pause there because that's just a blue collar jobs. I haven't even talked about the jobs that are more on the technical side that are going to be needed not only on the AI data center side but also on the nuclear side. So there's opportunity here, man. That for sure, people definitely need to look into it and be able to see that for themselves and you know pursue it if that is their that is their field. PMPs are going to be needed, so project managers, definitely for sure. So definitely look into that for yourself and see if you're looking for work, this might be an area that you can look into. And so I'm going to stop real quickly before I pass it to Trey and go to this comment. So AI is creating new jobs. Imagine that. Imagine that.
You don't say.
Imagine that. Like in Sesame Street.
You don't say.
But
Yeah, man. It's that's a part of how life works. Like if something, there's always something on the other side. So if something's happening over here, whether it's good or bad, there's something happening over here.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just got to be paying attention. Now, I don't think enough people are paying attention to the right. Like we're always paying attention to what's wrong and what's bad, and that's where all the focus goes. You can put a little focus on this side,
Yeah.
but you probably need to be looking at the equal and opposite reaction, or what's also happening on the other side.
Yep.
But it's hard to do. It's hard to do.
One thing I could say, and if this is something that somebody could run with if they choose, but one thing the tech industry taught me is that timing is everything. Timing is everything. Being prepared for the moment. Because as when I came in tech sales, it was like booming. Everybody was talking about it, and people are still talking about it, right? But the pivot between when I started to now is definitely different. The job market is not as quick and swift to get into as it is when I first did it. So there's a lot of things. So it's important to bring these things up because you want to forecast. You want to see the pivot when it happened. Like I told you about the coworker that left where we were working. We're an AI company and went to a AI data center. Because they're powering that. And now somebody else might be like, "Hey, I want to power the AI data centers." So really, kind of looking at the long future of things, and kind of saying, "Hey, AI is not going anywhere. How do I embrace it? Where can I find those gaps, and make a decision to move from there?" That's kind of like what I'm trying to say.
Yep. Better go to Google Trends.
Mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. And I think something that we could all kind of learn about for sure. Definitely. Well, listen, I want to. If you have anything to say about this, let us know in the chat. Tech Coach Ralph says people will focus more on the T app than AI job boom. They will.
Unfortunately.
They will.
Unfortunately.
They
Yeah.
will. I mean, let's not invest in the T app. I don't know if it's a public company yet, but
Probably not.
yeah,
But you could probably invest in the companies that invested in the T app. Who knows?
that's true.
I don't know. That's assuming that they did. I don't know. But you probably should be trying to figure out how you can invest in yourself.
Yeah,
And then you'll be able to invest in the publicly traded companies.
that's true. That's very true. Yeah, so it's the reality of it. It's just that that's where we are. But we're getting better. We're getting better because people are realizing it, especially the younger generation with social media. They were advanced in certain ways. They got certain things done. And what we gotta do is keep it going. We gotta keep
I'm
it
seeing
going.
it.
We gotta keep it going, and we're gonna keep it going with the Brown Box Special right now. Brown Box Special is basically for those who are new. It's stories of those like ourselves who have either been fired, let go, or quit their job for whatever reason. We do this not to laugh at their pain, as much as sympathize, empathize, and find the community in the pain that we all have experienced at one point of our lives, right? So I'm gonna say this one real quick, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. But thank you first and foremost, all of you, for coming on. We appreciate everybody that stopped by. If you enjoyed the show, let us know in the comment section. So before I go on, OTTO said better watch for the next Boston Tea Party with this tea app. So yeah, we will definitely see about that, man.
It's a
Back
wrap.
in Yeah, man. And by the way, this Brown Box Special is brought to you by Reddit, not 4chan, but Reddit. Back in August, this person got laid off unexpectedly. No warning, no severance. Just, hey, we're reconstructing. And a Zoom call that lasted 3 minutes. I panicked. Couldn't tell my family yet. Didn't want my friends or my coworkers to know. So I just pretended I was still working every day. I logged in, aka open my laptop and sit there while I look busy. Told people I had meetings, walked around with AirPods in like I was on calls, applied to jobs nonstop in the background, even posted on LinkedIn occasionally about exciting projects at work just to keep the illusion going. Then something wild happened. A recruiter saw one of those fake posts, reached out and asked if I was open to opportunities. I said yes, got an interview, lied through my teeth about my current job, crushed the interview, got an offer, higher salary, better title, remote, actual work life balance. It's been 5 months now, and I still haven't told most people I was ever unemployed. And honestly, don't think I ever will. I used to feel guilty for faking it, but I just feel relieved. The system is built on BS anyway. I just played along until it worked. And let me tell you this: this is actually not uncommon as we think.
Really?
I mean, yeah, if you go on LinkedIn, if you think about it, you go on LinkedIn, the trend that you probably see is people start posting all of a sudden, and
Oh, you mean that's
yeah,
okay. Okay. I thought you was talking about the faking it in front of
that
the
part right
family and
there.
walking around like you on calls. And I thought that's what you was talking about.
That part a little different. That part, I mean, if something like that happened to me, my wife would know. Like we
Yeah,
talked about it. I might start
yeah,
posting more online in general because I have more time, but my wife would definitely know, and it would be a situation where it's like, okay, we'll work this out together. But lying to
yeah.
my family and stuff like that, I think that's a little too far. But the fact that he faked it to his make to he make it, I don't think that's as uncommon as it may sound reading this. But yeah, he's a good actor, he or she, because he's just
Big
like,
time.
yeah, you want that on your paper by on your desk by what time? You got it. You got it,
I
boy.
mean,
You know.
and then if you really paying attention, you're like, why is this dude walking around all loud on the phone all of a sudden every these last couple of weeks? He
Yeah.
ain't never talked that loud on the phone about work.
He was always hiding stuff before. Now it's like
Yeah.
I'm
All in the kitchen with the laptop. Man, I just can't. I got so much.
to do.
Like,
Click, click, click. Oh man, let's go to Tech Coach Rouse says sounds like they got fired.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
big
They
time.
were still working just at the previous company. That
This
is
is
another
true.
thing we got to talk about, man. Real quick, if you don't mind.
Go
Applying
ahead.
jobs and the whole hiring process is a job, man.
Oh, it is.
It is
Especially with all these rounds now.
all these rounds. It is work. It's
3 rounds just to get hired at, Burger King.
yeah, it's an employer's market, and they know
I'm
it.
just talking. I don't know, but
Maybe two, maybe two. I don't know, but depending on which one you go to, they how bad they need you. Maybe one. But like you got hired, just keep start
hey, man,
doing.
$12 an hour, man. But we got to get you in 3 more interviews. We got 3 rounds, and then we got a panel. But yeah, it's one for the $12 an hour.
Yeah,
Like, man,
yeah, get these ducats. Yeah, no, yeah. So it's just one of those things. But I just found it interesting because it's like he faked it till he made it. And is this the trend that we're gonna see a lot more? I mean, again, not the acting part, but more or less like people not saying that they got let go, people just really kind of pushing through and uh and really kind of showing off like, hey, this is look at what I'm doing here. This project's amazing and da 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 because of the fact that there is a stigma that we haven't really talked about where um there even were some recruiters that basically, which I don't agree with, if you put the open to network like banner on LinkedIn, they're like, oh, this person's desperate or they don't have a good enough network in order for them to get a job, so I'm not gonna talk to them.
mm,
And I'm like, people have bills to
mm,
pay. It's not even a fact. It's not even like a whole. I got bills to pay. I got responsibilities. I need to not be my pride be in the way. I need to go and get this job.
yeah,
So yeah, I think we'll definitely see a lot more of this, but I don't think there's any shame in the banner unless it's like a situation where I have something worked out, so I'm not really relying on that. Um, but yeah, life is fickle. Things are fickle. Things can change in an instant.
yeah. I mean, I don't agree with it either. When it comes to that, I didn't know that's how they thought about it, but
Some people do, yeah. Some recruiters.
yeah, but it makes sense on the psychology side, bro. Because like even if you think about the banks, I always used to say, uh, you know, when you need the money, they won't give it to you. So
Mm,
when you don't need the money, get the money because when you do need it, they're not gonna give it to you.
mm,
And really, what I mean is like, you know, maybe your credit is up a little bit, or maybe you got money coming in, you got the banks. Then that's when you need to, hey, let me open this line of credit or personal line of credit, all this kind of stuff, and just have it sit in there, because if I don't use it, I don't have to pay on it. I don't have to do anything, because when you do need it and you're desperate and the credit is low and you lost the job, they're not giving it to you for those same reasons. You're a lot. I don't know. Now, but like I said, that don't necessarily make it right. Hey, this is when I actually need this now.
Yeah.
We can't give it to you. Sorry. When you don't need it, they throwing it at you.
Yeah.
All in the inbox. So it's kind of there's that side of it as well. But
yeah. So listen, y'all, what are your thoughts on this? Is this a play that you're gonna run? If you are in a situation similar to that, let us know in the comment section below. But that is it for the show, y'all. We went over a little time. I think it was a good one. I want to make sure that we appreciate you guys, and we definitely want to stay back and give you a little bit of what we can when we can. And so thank you again for rocking with us on this episode. Techo Drop says, I wouldn't let someone loan money who's not employed. As a bank, right? As a bank.
Not getting nothing.
Yeah. And ain't no way, right? Ain't no way for that. I think what you, I don't, Trey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're trying to say when you are employed and you have the money, just get that as leverage for when you don't need it, or when you do need it, because when you don't need it, whether you're trying to do anything, even if you are employed, they may not even give it to you.
Yeah. I mean, more or less, yeah. Or even if it's really just the idea of the thing, right? Like, even if you don't get it or you don't need it, it still holds true. Like, if you don't need it and you just go and get it, or even if you don't go and get it, they'll be willing to give it to you then. But when you do need it, you're gonna have a hard time getting it. So to equate it, if you are good, right, you got a good job, or you got the job, continue to cultivate relationships, continue to genuine relationships, continue to stay in the loop, continue to go to the meetups, talk with the recruiters, stay in the know and in eyesight when you don't need it.
That's right.
Because also, you're not coming off as desperate. Like, you literally are a genuine friend, or you literally, you really want to know what's going on. Because when you do need it, it's a regular conversation. It's not, you done called my phone 6 times and I ain't heard from you in 30 months.
Yeah.
That's a totally different, So that's all I'm saying, y'all.
That's good. That's a great framework. That's always ABI, always be interviewing, right? That's a really good thing. If y'all leave with anything, leave with that. If something, if you forget about the T app, if you forget about anything else we said, that right there is a nugget worth taking for the rest of your day. But yes and all, we thank you all for rocking with us again on Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world, baby. We'll see you next week.
Peace and elbow grease.